A Mariners home game, but it sure doesn't feel like it. Just the second ever A-League game to be held in Geelong. Most of the support will be for the visitors, Melbourne Victory, as both teams seek to build on morale-boosting and much-needed wins in round 13. Let's check on the team lineups for the Mariners. Just one enforced change from the side that beat Wellington Phoenix. Roy O'Donovan's suspension means a first start in Mariners colours for Josh Bingham, who will lead the line in place of the Irishman. Paul Izzo, meantime, is away with the Ollie Roos. And Tom Hewitt-Bell has won the battle ahead of new signing Alistair Bray, and thus keeps his place between the posts. Now, three changes from Melbourne Victory, two enforced, with Jason Guerrier and Thomas Deng away with the Ollie Roos. Dylan Murnane comes in at left back. Daniel Georgievski moves back to the right. Lee Broxham reverts to the centre of defence. Rashid Mahazi is back for his 50th A-League game. And Guy Finkler returns after a two-game absence, both of those in midfield. Fahid Ben Kalfala shifts back to the flanks, with Archie Thompson dropping back to the bench. A Victory bench which also includes new signing Jai Ingham and the fit-again Nick Ansell. The Mariners have their three new signings in reserve: Bray, Trent Buhaja, and the ex-Victory player, Francesco Stella. Tonight, a chance for Victory to prove they're back on track. The win over the Jets, not pretty, but it sure was necessary. After 5 without success, the big question for Kevin Muscat tonight is whether that win has given his team its mojo back, as they look to go back into third spot and put the pressure back on Sydney FC and Nova City, who play tomorrow. Kevin Muscat negotiating his way through arguably the toughest period of his coaching career so far, not helped, it must be said, by playing just one home game in Melbourne since November, excluding the derby. But this fixture, the first of 7 of the next 8 in Victoria. So it is the Mariners in all yellow getting us underway tonight. Round 14 of the Hyundai A-League kicking off, and after 6 straight wins over the Mariners, Victory expected to make it 7 on the spin. Andy Harper, is that your view as well?
Yeah, it is. And of course, they've got to do the hard work to earn the right to those 3 points. Favouritism is all well and good. You've got to make that come to fruition. They've certainly got the quality, and they've been playing well enough over the last 6 weeks to have a more enhanced table position, Melbourne Victory, but that's not the reality confronting them, and they've got to do away with the Central Coast to get themselves right on the heels of the competition leaders.
Josh Rose still to get ahead of his opponent. Easy catch for Danny Vukovic. There is a trophy, incidentally, on offer tonight as well, the TAC, or TAC Independence Cup, which aims to raise awareness of the 12,000 or so Australians living with spinal cord injuries. Good initiative, that. Victory in their change colours. For all white, as we say, they are nominally the away team tonight. Immaculate playing surface, which is good to see. Josh Bingham alive to the possibilities, launching it immediately towards Fabio Ferreira, and the upshot is the first corner of the contest for the Central Coast, which will please their small band of travelling fans, which you can hear in the background for the first time. Bingham loitering towards the back post. Oh, and there is the opening goal for the Central Coast. Harry Ashcroft standing tallest of all inside the penalty box. Nobody picked him up. 1-0 Mariners.
Well, the corner came from a piece of direct play, trying to utilise the speed of Fabio Ferreira. They couldn't get Ferreira on the end to make the cross. They win the corner, which is nicely hit and very poorly defended, you have to say. But get that out of the way and admire the athleticism of Ashcroft. That is a terrific header. He gets great air and he heads the ball really crisply. Vukovic with no chance. The Mariners are away.
Where's the mojo gone, Andy? I thought they might rediscover it after that somewhat scruffy win over the Jets. Still night, of course, very early days yet in this contest, and Kalfala's going to run this one down. And quite wrap his boot around it.
And then those moments, Simon, when maybe in games if they've had little periods where they've struggled, they've found the moment of quality in the final third to settle the business. They're not finding that quality at the moment. Passes are being overhit, underhit, misdirected.
Latest case in point from Georgievski. Victory on the back foot again. Ferreira threads it through, and Josh Bingham scores, and it's 2 for the Central Coast. On his first start for the Mariners, he has his second A-League strike. And the Victory fans here in Geelong can't believe this. But they can. 2-0 to Tony Walmsley's team. And a very tidy finish indeed by the youngster.
Well, this is really a superb finish. Lee Broxham, perhaps a little bit of a deflection. But strikers who take it in stride, one-touch finish. Goalkeepers don't get a chance to get set and to adjust for the angles. You catch them off balance more often than not. Bingham's done a brilliant job there.
See how this develops. Barbarouses and Kalfala. Well, it was an awkward one to keep down. It bounced just in front of him. He had to take it on the half volley, and it bounced up and over.
Well, the speed of the pass and the speed at which Kalfala approached the ball to get there in time, he had a pretty difficult chance to convert, but it was a good opening.
Here they come again down the right through Barbarouses. Another corner. That makes 7.
Which does tell its own little story. 7 corners. 33 minutes into the game, they've had a lot of opportunity in the attacking part of the field, Melbourne Victory, but the quality has evaded them by and large so far.
Bozanic again, a little deeper this time. Finkel rising. So too Poscolero. Ferreira, lovely touch by Fabio Ferreira to pick out Josh Bingham, threads it through, and Mitch Austin is one-on-one here. It's Mitch Austin for 3, and there it is! Central Coast Mariners from one end of the park to the other. Absolute gold by the team in yellow. Mitch Austin, 3-0.
Well, this is quite remarkable. And they needed to clean that up, needed to be cleaned up. This on the back, by the way, of Melbourne Victory having their own corner. And Mitch Austin is not going to be able to be contained from this position. The only question is whether he has the composure to finish it off. And he answers it most emphatically.
Here's Fahid Ben Kalfala meantime. Victory could do with the response before the break. Bessar Berisha almost gave it to them. Beaten away by the young goalkeeper, who got his angles right. And Berisha did well to create just that little fraction of space that he needed.
Nice turn from Berisha and good purchase on the shot. Hewitt Bell well positioned.
Fahid Ben Kalfala, now Berisha. A lot of traffic to try and weave his way through it. He's trying to release it in behind Rue for Dylan Madej, who concedes another corner. There'll probably just be time for this. Victory now into double figures in first half corners. Can they make one count? Oh, it's evaded everybody, including Thomas Hewitt-Bell. And that'll do it. Well, nobody predicted this. Melbourne Victory, heavy favourites in their temporary home of Geelong tonight. There are a few boos from the large contingent of Victory supporters. Mitch Austin scoring a brilliant third goal on the counter-attack. That after Josh Bingham had scored just his second A-League goal, and after Harry Ascroft had given the Central Coast Mariners the advantage from a Mitch Austin corner. Remarkable, simply remarkable. And Kevin Muscat has got to put his thinking cap on at half-time. They have got a mountain to climb here in Geelong, second half. At the break, it's the Mariners leading the Victory by 3 goals to 0. Big 45 minutes ahead for the champions, and immediately they turn the ball over straight from the kickoff. And I'm sure that was some of the lack of quality that Kevin Muscats was alluding to during his half-time chat, Andy Harper.
Certainly the case, Simon. Lack of application. Defending for them, intensity for the Victory has to start from the front. When they're at their irrepressible best, they do most of their good stuff off the ball, and it starts with Berisha.
Well, let's talk about the good stuff, and that is the Central Coast Mariners and their performance so far. 22 matches without a win outside Gosford. Here's Finkler trying to find room, threads it through. Bessart Berisha goes down inside the box. Appeals for a penalty, but Peter Green says nothing doing. And immediately, the Mariners in transition with Fabio Ferreira. Dylan Murnane stayed in hot pursuit. Mariners still on the ball through Michael Neal. They get a throw.
Well, again, in transition, how dangerous potentially did that look for Melbourne Victory? Central Coast not able to take the ball further upfield. The centre of the field opened again. Now Berisha threw in on goal. Ascroft with a leg swinging.
Yeah, questionable.
Yeah.
Another look at the penalty shout.
Yeah, penalty. Dead set penalty. McGing swings at the ball. Intent was for the ball, but missed it. Collects Berisha's leg, penalty.
Stolen on the blind side by Ferreira, and they've got a man free on the right, who's Mitch Austin. They're in behind again, the Mariners. Mitch Austin looking to make it 4. Oh, and it's only centimetres wide. Goodness me, Mitch Austin was that close to killing the game off once and for all. And Melbourne Victory once again undressed on the counter.
Completely. That's to presuppose they've got any clothing left at this point.
Mahazi. Bozanic, that's a better ball. Barbarouses, chance here. That's a penalty, says Peter Green. Ascroft the offender. And Victory perhaps have a lifeline. At least they have the chance of a lifeline. What about this decision, Andy?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Is that less of a pen than some of the others?
May well be, but doesn't make it not a penalty.
It's Bessart Berisha, and it's 3-1. The Albanian rarely misses from the spot, and they've begun the journey, Melbourne Victory. Just over half an hour to play.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
Yeah, that angle looks more conclusive.
He got away with the first one, not the second. The first one was on Berisha, and he makes up for it. Excellent, outstanding Bessart Berisha from the penalty area.
Here's the double change for Victory.
A great time for a change as well.
Guy Finkler to be replaced by probably Melbourne Victory's all-time hero, Archie Thompson. Loved here in Geelong, just as he is in Melbourne. And Ollie Bozanic also to be replaced against his former club. And how good is it, Andy, to see the return after a long absence of Nick Ansell?
Yeah, I concur. Ollie Bozanic will be disappointed that he's been substituted, but happy at least in part to put on the pass to get the Victory back into the game.
Well, it wasn't an easy one to control at all for Georgievski.
Give it in now!
About as well as he possibly could. Quickly taken throw, Berisha onto the chest of Barbarouses! Oh, that was glorious! Thompson on the follow-up! 3-2! Now we've got a real game in our hands! Victory right back in it!
Sumptuous, this from Costa Barbarouses. Beautiful from Berisha, but that is delightful. Deserved a goal in its own right. But it's Archie the Great who anticipates better than many, and on this occasion is right on the spot, exactly where he was needed, and it's game on at Simmons. They're competing. And once they're competing, their quality should then take them closer to the finish line.
Here's Costa Barbarouses. Can he find that little bit of quality? Squares it up for Berisha. A lot of traffic. Berisha! Oh, my word. A stadium held its breath and expected the net to bulge, but it didn't.
Well, this is often a pose that Besart Berisha adopts when he's won a championship or an FFA Cup or sealed a derby or a big blue.
Del Pierre got a little piece of it, whipped across, and it came finally off Nick Hansel of all people. But wide.
Well, the Mariners are rocking at the moment. You can understand why, but look at the speed and the pace. And then the space. Taking them all on at the moment, Barbarouses.
Oh, another foul by Poscolero. Muscat asking the question of the fourth official. He is, as we remarked earlier, one of those players carrying a yellow card.
Let's see what they can do with this. The victory. There was a sense when they got back to 3-2 that probably went around the ground that it's a formality that they get back square and then secure all 3 points. It's like expecting to win when you have a man's advantage.
Barbarouses is set piece. There's 2 free here. Georgievski must be in, surely. How did it stay out? Still alive for Broxham. Oh, and turned over at the last possible moment by Jake McGing. How on earth did the Mariners survive that?
I have no words. It's simply inexplicable. Good coolness in the end from McGing.
Victory trying to force the issue. Another test for the goalkeeper out. It tops on Georgievski, almost from point-blank range. Somehow fires about 5 metres wide. Wasn't convincing from Hewitt Bell. Just flapped at it, really.
It's been that sort of half from the Central Coast Mariners. And Victory have had their chances to get level.
They still might. Hazy floats it towards Barbarouses and Berisha! Breathtaking! Simply breathtaking! 3-3 in stoppage time, and the comeback is complete. What a story!
Well, they've looked a lot more threatening than on this occasion. Costa Barbarouses deceptively good in the air. And does Hewitt Bell look at that, the young goalkeeper, and think, I've got to be more dominant and come and challenge Berisha. I can't just sit and try and read the header. I've got to clear that line, and Berisha takes full advantage.
Well, 6 goals shared, but that really only half the story. A quite remarkable A-League night here in Geelong, witnessed by over 14,000. The Mariners, super efficient, super lethal in the first half. Melbourne Victory equally as impressive after the break. And they earned a point through goals from Besart Berisha, who got 2, including 1 in stoppage time, to earn a share of the spoils. Archie Thompson also on the mark, off the bench. Well, it's not the results Kevin Muscat wanted, or Tony Wormsley, in all honesty. Difficult to know who's the more pleased, who's the more disappointed. The neutral, though, is certainly the winner. That was quite some game. Central Coast Mariners 3, Melbourne Victory 3, the full-time scoreline.